was like when they're like, you must go and like take down the 4 lords and gather the
But
ashes.
Dark Souls, the dude was like, "There's a bell you must ring. One is up high and one is up low," and you're like, "What?" And then you go and you're like, "There's no fucking bell here."
There's no story to that game. Everybody.
Okay, boys. So it's good to have you back, Cody, and episode 3, Conspiracy Gamers.
Right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome back, everybody, to episode 3 of Conspiracy Gamers, which is what I'm going to call this thing, because that one's not taking. Technical difficulties is taking. Taken. I was thinking I could call it technically difficult, but I never looked into it. I like Conspiracy Gamers because it's conspiracies, gaming. Those are the things that I feel like I care about. I promise everyone that we will not have a scuffed podcast like last time, because we're not trying to podcast with someone who hasn't turned their PC on in like a year.
Oh, Ryan.
Oh man, did you watch it, Cody?
No.
It's a pain.
Where are they, on YouTube or?
Yeah, they are on SamwellKrom.
See, I feel like the ones I'm in, I just wouldn't want to watch. I feel like
you do pretty good, though.
cringy, but...
Well, I think it's because you're pretty. You add to the podcast, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's that manly mustache. No matter what it's attached to.
Should I just shave everything else and do the mustache like a weirdo?
Wow. So what happened with the last one was Ryan. If you do though, handlebars. By the way, I want to see the handlebars. Yeah, and just like have them like slightly wrap back. You know, just get thick at the bottom.
It gets like a little thin here though. I don't know if I can pull them off, but I'll try it.
Look at your thick facial hairs, and he's like, I don't think I could do that. My mustache doesn't even attach at all. Yeah.
Yeah, Blake, you got really thin little handlebars.
Yeah.
I want to see Blake do the stash and chops. Yeah. That's what I want. He needs to get rid of just the chin piece and just...
Jeez, yeah, real British. Yeah.
I got real close to doing just like the musketeer last time I shaved, but...
Colby like does that all the time since you told him to do that. He's like, okay,
yeah,
like, this is what I do. Yeah.
It looks good on his face, man.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, about that podcast. So yeah, it just ends up like we cannot connect with him on PC. It was an editing nightmare. Like, so we switched to Apex and just tried to do the podcast while playing arenas. But all the best parts were obviously when we weren't playing arenas, because like when you're in match and you're trying to have a conversation, there's so many dead ends where we were just like,
lost.
Yeah, and then which is too bad. Mostly Ryan's points too, which is too bad. I really wanted to hear his point of views and a couple of the stories he got into and his ideas about like the roguelike he was talking about. I can't remember what the name of that game was even called, but yeah. So so first section we do here is the hi, I'm Sam. What's your guys' name?
Hi, I'm Blake.
Okay.
And I'm Cody.
There we go. And
this is out of order. This should have been the first thing.
Yeah,
it should have been the first thing.
We'll splice it back to the beginning.
And then remove this tiny piece. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'll probably let it run through. So yeah, what did you guys do for your games this week?
Cody?
Oh well, always Apex.
Right.
Just been working with the team, trying to find our third that's gonna work with us, because I've been working with this guy Cecil. He's young, but he's super cracked, smart kid. And we're working with 2 different guys right now. One's a controller player, one's a mouse and key. They're both really good, but it just seems hard to find somebody that we can just play with well. Like really, our main issue is IGL. Like we're having a hard time with IGLs. Like the one guy is really good. He hits master every split by himself, but that's the problem, right? He doesn't have the mindset of playing with a team. He just he'll make plays that will work if his team doesn't get lasered as he's doing it, right? Like, and then he's just full committing while we can't help him. It's tragic, but it's a dilemma.
Well, that's bad. Then Blake, what did you play?
Yeah. Oh. Well, a fair amount of Age of Empires, just in fucking building some cities, right? Fucking
right.
Yeah.
That's your mobile game?
No. This one's on. It's Age of Empires 2, just on Xbox Game Pass there. And yeah, no,
PC, Xbox Game Pass.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, no, it's pretty fun, just a little time killer. Fucking other than that, some Apex, a little bit of fucking State of Decay, right? Haven't been gaming too much though, right? During the week. Pretty much get home and
I feel
what I've been
that.
doing for the most part is like fucking going back and rewatching people play like Resident Evil 7 and stuff like that, getting the feel for that. Watching Sam play a little bit of 8 and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. 8's been a
Yeah, no.
blast.
Yeah, no, fuck. That's an epic game. Like
Yeah.
both of them, like this whole Ethan Ethan Winters series is fucking actually pretty interesting with the whole E series mold and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I don't know.
I was just reading today. It was I always call him Heisenberg. What's his name?
Heisenberg.
No, Cornelius or whatever.
Which one?
I don't know. The bad
Is
guy
it
with
the
the glasses.
hammer
Yeah, the
dude?
hammer guy. Ha.
I'm pretty sure he's actually Heisenberg. Yeah,
Is it
that's his name.
Heisenberg?
I think you called
Really?
him Cornelius, and then you're like, "All right, Cornelius," and you walked out to him, and it's like,
He just
Heisenberg.
looks like a
Oh.
Cornelius, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that should have been the
And he
name.
talks like one too. I'm Cornelius. Yes. Feed you to my wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played a little bit of that. Like I actually just got back in today. It's a lot to try and like produce that content in particular. Because it's not doing a lot for me. And then I did some streaming, and I was streaming Apex a fair bit, but mostly because like my oldest brother finally got Apex, and we're kind of like hanging out, and it's my chance to visit with him and playing a little bit with other people. I really like that game, but it's not my favorite to stream actually. GTFO has to be my best favorite game to stream because it's actually a pretty small community. So I noticed the videos in my analytics, they get a lot of views. And
that was like Cody with fucking For Honor,
as For Honor.
Yeah. And
small viewership is where you succeed.
I enjoy that game deeply too. So I really want to get into more of that this week. And I didn't try anything new. In this segment, I want to throw out some games that are coming out this month that I'm like looking forward to. So I got the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection is coming out in June. That's gonna be skits. Did you guys ever play Ninja Gaiden?
I never did. No.
I played a little bit, just a little bit. I never owned a game. I think I probably rented one of them back when there was still a movie gallery.
Yeah, movie gallery, video update.
Yeah.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
I like the liquor store in Prince George with the Blockbuster logo still just faded onto the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck.
And then now the liquor store itself like looks like the Blockbuster logo. Like the writing. Yeah.
They kind of went with it. It's hilarious.
Like, all right, everyone knows where they're going here. You come in like, hey, you guys got DVDs? No, but we got the Liddy fuel.
Yeah. Fuck.
Chivalry 2, that game. I think I seen Zach play like the old Chivalry.
Fuck, you know what? Me and Zach bought Mordau recently, and we've been really into that. And it's actually pretty dope. Fucking like I know the first Chivalry was pretty much the same as Mordau, I guess, but I think there was just like a little bit more to Mordau. And I know I brought up just Chivalry 2 with Zach, and he was like concerned that it was going to be too much like the first Chivalry.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
I was hearing too. But it'll be interesting to see how it pulls up. I was looking at it, and it looks fun too. I should try Mordau one day too.
No, like honestly, that'd be a cool game if we all got into that with our fucking swords. And it's like really active too, especially on the PC. It's like all angles, but you have like just a parry, so it's not so complex. You got to like judge exactly where their angle is. You can just parry anything, but you can, if you do a strike against them, it's like a fucking counter strike or whatever. Yep. It's like a really in-depth game actually, and lots of like
it looks like what's that
sieges and shit.
What's that not stupid the role-playing game? Kingdom Come. It looks like Kingdom Come meets For Honor.
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels. And you're just rolling through, and it's all PvP, so it's all intense. And your first like 10, 15 rounds, actually, like what me and Zach ended up doing was going and playing some Horde, because that's the only place you have AI.
Right.
So we were like practicing fighting some Horde for a bit, and then we were like, all right, because we played
God,
we
I
played
miss.
a few matches off the drop,
Yeah.
and we just got annihilated. Everyone's
I'm
so good.
just
but
like
yeah, once you learn, it
nostalgically.
kicks in and fucking like knock people's swords away. And yeah, fuck with the mace, like because different weapons do different damage and shit, right? It's awesome. We had like a bunch of guys like pushing the center to get something across the line.
Yep.
And then yeah, like a bunch of our guys were going down, but they all must have been weak or something. They like jumped off the edge with this massive mace and just 2 big swings, got like 8 kills. I was like, carnage!
This be my fuck off stick.
Yeah, exactly.
like you.
Yeah, I was like, that's the thing. You just get so bloodthirsty sometimes. And yeah,
sure.
for a while we were just standing out there with our bows, like sticking out of the fight. We're like,
I
yeah,
miss
we're not good enough.
I miss when For Honor first came out and we just grinded it hard for like a month.
Yeah,
And it was
that
right
was
after
pretty
I got
awesome.
fired too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was on EI too for like
Yeah.
fucking ever too. That I bought my PS4 for that.
Oh, that
game,
was
I'm
it.
pretty
We
sure.
were on
Yeah,
we were
I
on
remember
layoff season.
like
I hadn't
both
been fired
did.
yet.
Yeah. No, and we both just fucking got systems, bought that game, fucking.
I think we
Went
were at
hard.
home playing it so much that Cody quit his job.
Yeah, that might
If I
have been
remember.
the case.
Pretty sure that's what
Something
happened,
like
right?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. It was was it Costco?
Yeah.
No. It
No,
was.
that
was
would
it?
have been.
We were
Well,
living
that was
at
at
we were living at your place, Blake, whenever I quit Costco. So I was still working.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so no,
I think.
For Honor, you were still at like 13th or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
where were you working there?
I was still been at Costco.
Oh, okay.
You're
Yeah,
probably
so
just
you might have
thinking of
just-
it wrong. I quit.
It might have been. It is
Costco
probably.
to play Ark, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah,
it was during Ark
played a
time.
bunch of Ark.
Oh
Yeah, I think
man.
that was
Yeah.
why.
Oh, what a toxic game. It's like the World of Warcraft of the offline world.
And Rust is like that now. I picked
Yeah.
that one up and played that a little bit. But yeah, you need to like hit a server early with a full squad and like be there with the full squad.
The grinding stuff, I don't know how much of that I love it, but
I don't want
I
to do
just
any of that anymore.
I get trapped in it, right? I like to diversify my gameplay a little more now.
For sure, yeah.
You know, yeah, something that I'm not like, okay, I just want to build a quick little hut, and then next thing I know, it's 6 hours
Well,
later.
Yeah, that is the thing. Like whenever we play 7 days and stuff like that, like what I want to do is go exploring, hunting down zombies and stuff like that. Which is actually why I kind of like State of Decay more, because it's a more active gameplay, right?
Right.
It's not really any base building, but you fucking go gather resources all across the map and just a bunch of zombies slaying, which is pretty fun. Nice time killer.
Yeah, did you hear about Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VII Retrograde or Integrate? The
No.
remake Integrate? It's coming out next month. That one's going to be the on June
Ooh.
10th. It comes out for the PS5 exclusive, I believe. It might, you could look into it. Maybe it has like a PlayStation 4 release as well. But yeah,
I just want it to be for PC, honestly.
yeah, they're not going to be the Final Fantasy like released pretty solely for PlayStation for most
Makes
all of their
sense.
games, but some of
Well,
them
like
make
they
their way
very
over in the
recently,
future.
Square Enix had like a big, like they're all coming over to Steam. That's why they had that massive sale of all their games and
Yeah,
stuff, right?
their old stuff, but I think the remake had an exclusive deal with PlayStation.
Probably.
So
I
I'm
regret
pretty
buying
sure
that
that-
game now because they just gave it away for free 6 months later.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
was rude. That
Yeah, I
rude.
was like,
but at the same time, I'm glad I bought it because it supported the game, and then we get the next episode.
oh yeah, yeah. No, like I can't wait for the next
I,
one. Everything's gonna be different.
Something
is the
about
biggest
the
thing.
price point of games these days, though, right? It's like you'll pay
Yeah,
like $80
especially
for
since
something,
actually, I
and
guess-
then you'll play it for
Yeah.
40 hours, and I just don't know,
Yeah.
or less.
I was thinking. Well, I fucking it depends.
It's
I know
usually
that
less than
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's like I bought that, but I got like 120 hours out of that game.
One thing I
But-
didn't.
Sorry,
Sorry,
not too fast.
just on the Final Fantasy VII. Sorry, one thing I didn't like about that game, because I love Final Fantasy, but putting the hardest difficulty behind New Game Plus mode.
Yeah,
That
that was
was-
a piss off.
That was. It's like you
Because
just
it
give me
didn't
the
even
hardest one
actually
right
give me
away.
incentive. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't even enough incentive to play the game again. I tried. I was
Yeah.
going through and doing everything, but I just fell off. Mainly probably just because I didn't have enough space on my PlayStation. So I was like, new game. It's
Right.
like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Integrate's going to add a new chapter. So it's basically the remake, but remade for PlayStation 5, and it's going to add a chapter for Yuffie. So it's like a little just a chapter, not a whole new episode.
yeah. But
So-
everything's gonna be the same though.
Yeah.
Like so it's
So
not
it's
gonna
the
be
same
like
game with
backstory
one
or
extra
nothing?
chapter, and this time it'll probably be available for the low price of $85.99.
Yeah, no.
60 frames per second.
And then everybody can pre-order it for $120.
Yeah.
And then they'll get it only
Get
like
the
3 months
exclusive
after the
edition
people
for
that just picked it up at the
$200. Your own plushy chocobo and a paper map, which is totally unique, even though we printed it 100,000 times.
Yeah, no.
What I want, if I'm gonna
hilarious.
pay like more than $100 for a game, you better be emailing me like a wood engraved map, or sorry, mailing me like straight to my house, like
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, no, like something intense.
Something worth $10.
Yeah, no, like I think for Final Fantasy, what you got was like a fucking steel framed like book. Well, like it was like supposed to be kind of like one of their like magic books or whatever, but it was just like a sleeve or something. I don't know.
In Japan, they get like awesome stuff. Like, I remember ordered like the remaster of Final Fantasy VII. You got like a health potion, like in a little glass vial. It was like a blue liquid. I don't know if it was drinkable.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They have also in Japan. They have a energy drink called Health Potion, inspired by Final Fantasy. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, fuck. Oh, Sam.
Yeah.
Did you ever actually play Left 4 Dead 2?
Yeah.
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 Did you beat it? Oh, fuck.
Oh yeah. Left 4 Dead 2 is the one where the there's the guys at the bridge, right?
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of goddamn Joel and Ellie.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, The Last of Us Part 2.
No, I didn't. I should play it, but but the internet was so outraged. I know everything about it. So
yeah, I don't need to watch or play that political nightmare.
Man, I loved it. I thought it was good.
I like the idea of the super jacked new protagonist.
The
beastly woman.
Oh yeah, no, she was intense. She just beating people down. It was actually, I know a lot of people were like pissed off at the switch of perspectives, but I thought it was cool. I don't know.
I think it's just because some people find it kind of unrealistic.
Right. I don't know. Have you ever seen those juice ladies at the gym though? Because that's pretty realistic. I've seen her.
She was
100%. I've seen those chicks at the gym that like they don't even they do like the shoulder thing that men do when they walk. They're just like juiced up. Their arms don't go down anymore, and their hips are locked in place. I've seen that.
It's like, see, that's the thing. And like, I don't know. I thought that it was brilliantly played out. Like you just rolling through with Ellie until you get to the turning point. Oh, yeah, Sam hasn't, but you know everything anyways. But yeah, no, and then then you roll through on the other side, get the other side, and you like what I thought was awesome. Well, really got me was like there's several times just playing through Ellie, and then like you hear the AI talking and stuff like that. Yeah. If you pay attention, you like actually you see those AI, and like the dogs that you kill.
Yes.
You hear them talking, and you like go back and you pet them. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I've emotionally been having a hard time with that on my Resident Evil 8 playthrough. Because it incentivizes you to kill the animals, and I didn't know that at first, so I just met them. I was like, oh, hello, chicken. No, don't run. Oh, we'll be friends forever. You too, Mr. Pig, and all this. And then it started with I couldn't find out where to go, so I killed the pig. And I just wanted to see if he dropped an item I needed, because it was like in that general area, I thought. And then like I had like a really deep emotional moment after killing that pig when all you got was a slice of meat. I was like, but he was my friend. And then it turns out that you use those for recipes to like upgrade your character at the what's
Duke.
It called? Yeah, the Duke. But then I feel wrong doing it. And then I already had the meat and I did it, and I just think he's disgusting, and he enjoys it so much. He's like,
oh yeah, just a little bit of fun.
Yeah, that creepy
getting
dude
around all over the place.
Yeah.
I like that they gave him more of like a backstory, or like a more seated part of the story in this than in 4, where it was just a dude just walks up like, you looking for anything?
You guys looking for any drugs?
Yeah, exactly. The Duke crawls out. He's like, hello there. there.
Yeah,
He's
I
like
still
another
think
supernatural guy, right?
he's still a little ridiculous. I think it was cheap, the narrative thing they did though with the exposition, where he's just like, "This is the plot of the game" in one scene early on, and then I'm like,
Oh,
what the fuck, dude?
yeah.
And then I think
Yeah.
they're hiding just the bare minimum
Well, you
of
know what?
what.
That really reminded me of Dark Souls. That was what I was like when they're like, "You must go and like take down the 4 lords and gather the
But
ashes."
Dark
And I was
Souls, the dude was like, "There's a bell you must ring.
like,
One is up high and one is up low," and you're like, "What?" And then you go and
Yeah.
you're like, "There's no fucking bell here."
There's
Yeah.
no story to that game.
70,000
Never figured it out.
deaths later, you're like, "Dude, a bell!" And then all these gargoyles come to murder you. You're like, "No!" And then you're like, "Okay, I finally rung the bell. What's next?" And then you just like walk through the poison swamp, die another 70,000 times, and then you get sidetracked. You're like, "What's with this celestial garden? Where's this guy?" Oh, and you get backstabbed by no one. You're like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just death.
"God,
That's all
Dark
those
Souls."
were.
Yeah.
I really want to play those again. I just can't. Last time I checked, fucking, it was still like $60 on Steam. I was like, oof.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I can't.
I mean, it's a great
Can't
game.
do it.
And then these are
Yeah,
all
no,
it's
it's just.
remastered now
I think.
too,
I
right? The
think
first
that
one.
the thing is that they just like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
I bought.
remastered everyone.
I'm pretty sure I bought that on my PlayStation. Me and Zach were playing through all of them. We got the first one remastered, and we got the second one, but yeah. That's the hardest thing about this is fucking yeah, Dark Souls 3 is still fucking $70. Dark Souls remastered is less. $50 though.
That's-
Fair enough.
But yeah,
So
I know I can't justify spending another $70 on a game I already own, but I
Yeah.
also won't play my PlayStation again. So
Yeah, I know. That's like a
I'm a-
big thing. It's like
keep mine around. Just
I mean, it
well,
still
I'm keeping
exists,
it.
but
It's
Yeah.
just sitting in my living room.
I just feel like
don't do it.
playing
I
any
downloaded
games
Days
at
Gone
60
because I was like
frames
maybe.
beyond me.
what's that, Cody?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, like playing games at 60 frames now is just kind of below me.
Well,
Yeah, I
you'd
still
hate
do that
Resident
on my
Evil 8
PC.
because yeah, the enemies, you'll just be like rolling through the game and then it'll be like, "Welcome to 15 frames per second." You're like,
Yeah.
"Why?" And
What is this?
yeah, well, there he goes
Oh, bye,
again.
Blake.
There we go. It's just the
There
cool
he
people
goes
now.
again on my own.
There he goes again. He's back online.
That's hilarious. So like, it didn't even fucking like really make me leave.
Oh, okay. So you heard us talking smack.
Yeah.
Your video's gone though.
Yeah. Oh no, that's share my screen. There it is. Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of perfect because I was like about to mimic frame loss, and then I looked up and my screen was completely blank. I was like, oh,
No.
it's like I had it real life IRL.
Okay. Ask bad that. Let's take a little breaksy, and
Okay.
we'll be coming back to the conspiracy part of the podcast, the funnest part. Hey guys, what's up? I forgot to record the second half of the episode. I was lucky enough that I got to kind of revisit the second half of the episode with the mighty Ryan himself. So pretty stoked about that. Thanks for your patience. Will we get the technical issues all sorted out with this new podcast thing? So thanks for watching. Settings to start this so I don't fuck it up again. All right, brother man. Welcome to episode 2. All those people who decide to listen. No one else can make it. We finished our episode a couple nights ago, but I actually forgot to record it, or I double clicked with my mouse, and that was a big mistake. So we have Discount Cody and Blake. Hi Ryan, welcome back.
How's it going?
Good man. It's good to see you. So I'm gonna let's catch you up too. So what did you play this week?
Mostly Apex. I played this new game I've been playing called Blazing Beaks, which is really fun. It's kind of like The Binding of Isaac. Played a little bit of that too, and but yeah, that's pretty much the main spread.
That's badass, man.
What about you, man?
I've honestly just been playing Apex and the Game of Life. GTFO. I've been really enjoying GTFO. I went over this on the first half of the episode, but it's like I get way more viewers on Twitch, like people that actually pop into the stream, because it's a kind of small game and it's just super difficult. It's a lot of fun, man. I really like challenging games, but it's really hard because we never have a fourth person and it's literally designed for 4 people.
Yeah. that could be challenging for sure.
It is. What else about life? Yeah, that's about it. And then what's new, man? Are you working still?
I'm chilling right now. We was a whole bunch of rain coming in, so we're resting easy.
Right.
But should be getting started pretty soon.
Solid. Okay. So really glad you decided to pop in so I don't have to talk alone to the camera. Besides, you're pretty much going to be like co-host here pretty soon.
All right.
Yeah. You have more screen time than half the people that are on this thing. Okay, so is there any video games you're like looking forward to from next month?
That are coming up next month?
Yeah.
No, I haven't really paid attention, but I was watching this one game. It's almost like dodgeball. And you just literally just throw balls back and forth, and you can catch, and you can throw feints, and you can throw like slow balls and curve balls and all kinds of shit. It looked pretty fun. That's the only game that I've really paid attention to since then.
That could be badass actually if you made like a Pokemon Go version. You know how you like throw the Pokeballs?
Yeah.
Right? You could do that and have an augmented reality where you just go playing dodgeball with random people in public. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be neat.
But it seems like a pretty fast-paced game. I think I like it a lot. I like games that are like easy to play, hard to master, and it seems like a game that's like that.
I get that. I mean, I get that from your carry me in every game we've ever played, so that makes sense to me. Yeah.
I don't know about every game.
Well, I'll go over the 3 I brought up on the first half here. Like, did you know like Ninja Gaiden Master Collection comes out next month?
No, I didn't.
So that was one of those difficult games.
That is one of the difficult games.
Yeah,
one of the most of all time.
The Master Collection, brother, man. It's all remastered. It's amazing.
I never got into Ninja Gaiden. That's one that you might have me on all day.
I actually only played a little bit of it at a friend's house, and then I watched a bunch of it when I was a teenager. I was like glued my face to the YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen it be played before, and it definitely does look challenging.
Yeah. I think it was a big inspiration for things like Dark Souls. Dark Souls was just like Ninja Gaiden meets, I don't know, some game without a story. Oh, yeah. Then,
Story makes itself. You just got to pick up all the items.
Yeah. And then Chivalry 2 comes out, which is like a PC game.
Yeah. Isn't that like the...
Yeah.
Isn't that like sword fighting and shit?
It is, yeah. Like Mordhau, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy was really into Mordhau for a bit.
Dude, I'd really like to try those games. My problem is always just that I do too much other stuff with my money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I need to, I don't know. Like, part of me wants to just, like, chill out with, like, how much money I'm putting away, but then the rest of me wants to not work anymore. And so you kind of, there's only one way to get there, and that's by sitting on your money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, and then Final Fantasy VII Intergrade is coming out, the remake Intergrade. So that's gonna have like a new chapter with that Yuffie character. I don't know if you ever played the Final Fantasy games.
I didn't get into it. My girlfriend really likes it.
Oh, solid. Well, tell her to watch the podcast.
Yeah, probably will.
Okay, cool. All right. So that's what I have. So now we're gonna officially, now that we caught you up on like all. That was like half-assed first half of the thing because we literally already did it. But
yeah.
We get into the fun stuff now, man. So I want to start off with my story. It'll give you time to think about some of your like conspiracies or whatever, your wild stories. Because did you ever watch? You probably didn't, but the upload of our last podcast when we put the YouTube.
No.
It was like actual pile of human trash. It was amazing. Like
real technical difficulties.
Oh, legit. I believe I named it technical difficulties, like the episode. It just and then we tried to do it in Apex, and then I think we probably could have done that in lobby, but maybe shouldn't have played. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was weird. There's so many dead ends. Like you're talking about the you're talking about your conspiracy.
The warp drives.
The warp drives. Yeah, tell me about the warp drives.
I haven't done enough. I didn't know if we were gonna come back to this or not, so I didn't really look at it.
Okay.
But like the basic principle, basically what happened in the story that I was telling was that a guy from like the Navy tried to patent a warp drive, and couldn't do it, and he tried like 3 times,
Right.
and then eventually the Navy came in and like shut it all down.
I mean, that's wild. It's like the American Navy.
Yes, and
Dude,
like
they have some
warp drives
crazy patents.
mathematically are possible. Like you can actually make
Dude,
them. We don't know
so-
if there's anything to fuel them.
I know. I believe if you look it up on like the federal supply chain, is that what it's called? I can't remember, but there's like it shows you like lists of all patents and who they belong to, and the U.S. Navy has a patent on an anti-gravity device. Like whether or not it works, we don't know, but that's what they call it. It's just like a cocaine sifter, like industrial grade. But yeah, badass. Okay, cool. So, are you ready to hear about this, man?
About the Great Heist,
the Great
One of the
Canadian
great heists of all
maple
time.
syrup heist, man. And we're talking,
the liquid gold heist.
yeah. And these aren't nice people, man. They're not going, "Whoops, sorry about that. I was just, throwing beer cans off my roof. Didn't expect you to be out there.
Just wanted to get a quick sip here, bud.
Just quick. Oh, just out for a rip, are ya?
Oh fuck yeah, bud.
Oh, fuck yeah."
You know it. Let's get some Timmies and kick rocks, eh?
Swimming in cigarette butts, just kicking up dust, man, in my Timmy's cups. I can't remember the words of that song.
I don't know either.
But you know what? Okay. Also, you know what? One of the most, the Avro Arrow, that like jet fighter. You heard
Did I
about
know
it?
the Avro Arrow? No.
Okay, so actually, Canada made like the most advanced fighting jet ever. Back in I can't remember when. Oh my god, I always have something on my screen that's just stupid, like streamer mode enabled.
In the way, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so the Avro Arrow is like a just absolute badass fighter jet that apparently could fly to space, reportedly, like into orbit, and then come back down. And this is before any it was the most advanced aircraft. It was so advanced that an American company bought it and then scrapped the program and tossed it out because Canada's not allowed to have an air force. But anyways, it's this crazy high-tech piece of thing, and I challenge anyone out there, go ahead and Google this. But the guy who engineered it was like, I was heavily inspired by the Canadian goose. And
Savage. It's just predatory.
100%. Well, it was the first fighter jet with a really long neck and like kind of triangular back base, just like a Canadian goose, man. It was the Canadian Goose Fighter, and that's why I went to space.
Okay, what was it called? Avro? AVRO. Okay.
AVRO Arrow. Yeah, Canadian Avro Arrow.
Avro Arrow fighter jet.
Yeah.
Record-breaking fighter jet. Wow.
Damn straight, son. It was a fucking what do you call it?
Expected to break the world speed record. Wow.
Yeah, it's a fucking Skyrex, man. Yeah. Like Cobra? What the fuck was it called? Cobra chicken? That's what
Cobra chicken is the one.
Who called it?
I know
Cobra
that
chicken?
meme. It's some dude. He's like this foreign guy. Didn't really know English that well.
Yeah.
And then he saw like a Canada goose when he was walking in, and he was like, "I don't really like the Cobra chicken." So he tried to just put words together to describe it.
That's
a
is.
perfect. It's either I always call it Cobra chicken or Cobra Swan. I think Cobra Swan is a little more.
It's like that that goose game, the annoying goose game or whatever.
I love that game. I have that game actually.
Yeah. There's only one problem with the plot is that no one dies,
And if it was a real goose, they would.
Yeah,
sure
you'd be like clawing out eyes.
No, just ripping children apart.
Yeah.
Making your nest out of human legs.
Yeah, that's what they do. They do that, and then they like to take different colored hair and they sew a cape out of it.
Try to make it all together. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty gnarly animals. You ever been like swatted at by one before?
Oh
Have you
yeah,
ever gone
man.
a little too close
Dude,
to a
I've
mama?
backhanded goose, man, for sure. It's the only way. They come right at your face, and you have to.
Oh, they go straight in for the kill. The Cobra chicken is very accurate.
Dude, 100%. You throw some kids in the mix, and there's nothing you can do, man.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god. They
So,
jump
yeah.
at your car too. Like if you're driving by a ditch with them, they'll run right at you, and it's like,
100%.
what?
That's
Why?
if we ever get invaded, we're gonna have to make like a moose cavalry where we just throw Cobra chickens at the invaders. That'll 100% ward them off.
Most deadly animal on the planet, of course.
But before we do that, we gotta smash a bottle of maple syrup.
Mm. Mm.
which is what today's episode is called, the Great Canadian Maple Syrup Heist of 2012. Now, have you heard about this?
Like barely, like peripherally at most.
Right. Okay, so I think every Canadian's heard about this, but I don't think we are aware just how fucked up the Canadian maple syrup industry is. So we produce 70% of the world's maple syrup, and they used to produce it, and the problem was like the supply and demand, right? So prices would climb and then fall down just like you're making hay, whatever, right? And so they made a cartel, and like an economic cartel. So the definition of an economic cartel is an association of manufacturers or suppliers with the purpose of maintaining prices at a high level and restricting competition. And it's government sanctioned by the Quebec province. So they have like a monopoly on maple syrup, man. And they like strong arm all the little producers into selling them their maple syrup. And if they sell it themselves to another person as a supplier, then that's called the black market, because now they're not selling through the FPAQ, which is the FPAC, man. There's a freaking Canadian maple syrup cartel, and no one's talking about it. Yeah, 100%. Just wait, the story gets better, man. Like, this is real shit going down in our country. So guess how much a barrel of maple syrup costs, brother man?
$1,000.
More.
$2,000.
Less. That's still a lot, though. It's $1,300 plus a barrel.
Christ.
Yeah, man. And yeah, and so what they do is they store them up in what they call the Global Strategic Reserve. Again, it's a mandatory membership in order to.
We have a maple syrup reserve just in case.
No, we have multiple. Okay, and if you get caught selling your syrup on the black market, you have to have 24-hour surveillance of your maple syrup that you pay for as the person who sold on the black market to watch your stuff to make sure you don't sell it. It's all legislated in there. Yeah.
That sounds like a total scam. 100%.
It sounds like reverse protection money. It's like, look, you sell us only your maple syrup, and then when you mess up, you also buy people to watch you for us. You're like, whoa, what? But yeah. No, it's wild, man. Mandatory membership. So in 2011, 2012, that year, there was a massive heist, man. And we're talking like $20 million. And I read numbers, it's like 13 million, 18 million, 20 million, whatever. Way more than $10 million. Yeah. Even 1 million's more than 10 million is too many millions. That's a lot of millions, man. I might never have that much.
Maybe not me, maybe me neither, man. It's pretty fucking...
You and me together might not have half that. I could throw that out there, because that would be like what, 10 million to 5 million? That's a lot of money. If we ever make that kind of money, we're going to start a global strategic reserve. Anyways, yeah, so it was crazy, man. The main perpetrators were the people that were, because they were apprehended. They actually got found out. And I've heard through other sources that they got caught because mainly like they were using their nicknames, that because it's a small industry, right? It's like a little mafia, and they got caught because they were using like their nicknames that they were commonly known as by their coworkers and stuff in the industry, in like in their communications. So they got caught.
Imagine.
Yeah, dude.
You get caught because you used your nickname as your criminal name?
Yeah, well, you know, the Quebec is so the brains are so large, they cannot expect other people to figure out their plans, eh? That's my best Quebecois accent.
That's okay. It'd be better than mine.
Yeah, so one day the barrel rollers, they're called, they roll barrels in the warehouse. They find them full and empty. They actually found them full of water, because they would take the maple syrup, drive it to this other warehouse. No, and then transfer it into an unmarked barrel, and then take the marked barrels, because they're all FPAC marked. They take them to the creek, fill them up with water, then take them back and restack them. After a while, they got lazy and they just started leaving them empty. That's how they got caught.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyways, so
millions of dollars lost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're in jail. I wonder if they're out now. Theft over a certain amount is federal
I don't know
sentence.
what it is in Canada at all.
Yeah, me either.
but it'd be bad. It'd be
Either way,
bad.
they're gonna get murked by some like maple syrup mafiosos in the Quebec prison there for
They
sure.
probably wouldn't make it out of prison.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, so the main guys were Richard Valliere. This guy was one of the producers, and he didn't like the idea that the F-Pack is strong arming him into selling his stuff to them. 'Cause I feel like this guy was in the right. He's just like, I just want to sell my own maple syrup to Quebec. Or sorry, they sold it to Germany and Japan and the U.S. because they, because it's a real maple syrup, none of this bullshit Aunt Jemima's half plastic butter stuff. Yeah.
I hate the butter flavor.
Yeah, the margarine of maple syrup, man. It's nothing. It's got nothing on
why?
this. Yeah,
I just don't understand.
Yeah, we
Put
gotta
butter on it.
we gotta
Or
do a
margarine, I
maple
don't even
chug
care.
by the way one day, man.
Just see how much we can go. I'm gonna have to take
do
a
it.
whole violet.
I'm gonna take. I'll do like a 750 ml, no problem. Yeah, that's like $14 worth of maple syrup. I bet I could do it fast too.
You better get you definitely don't want to use Aunt Jemima then. Use the stuff that comes in a can.
You know what you
Get the,
need?
like,
You need those old 7-Eleven straws that were thick, and you could just. That would do it.
That'd be some incredible suction if you could just launch that thing through there.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, Richard Valliere, the producer, was just pissed off, wanted to sell his own stuff, and so he sold everyone else's instead. $20 million worth of maple syrup. It's just wild, man. That was, what was it? 540,000 gallons that they managed to move. Yeah, which is really good. It's like 6,000 barrels or whatever. Yeah,
That's incredible.
yeah,
That's a lot.
they did good, man.
So they did it over a long period of time. Like, how long did they take them to do that even?
I think that it just happened over the course of a year, man.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Well, it's because these facilities aren't guarded.
Yeah.
Like,
Just holding tons and tons.
if
of
you
this,
ever
like,
want to make a quick,
liquid.
yeah, if you ever want to make a quick 100G with me, we'll just take a rip off to Quebec and visit an F-Pack facility because they're stored in like budget mini storage and stuff,
Oh
man.
my god.
Yeah, or like warehouses with no cameras. And they have their own specially designed forklifts that just like hook them barrels on and then
How's this
deposit
happened
onto the
like
truck.
100 other times?
I think it has happened lots. They're just usually strong arm them in. This time they got away with it because the guys were organized. And there's only 4 of them. The other guy was SamwellKrom, who's legitimately connected to the Italian mafia. 100%.
We have a surprising amount of Italian mafiosos in town.
I believe it. I mean,
You'd be surprised. I know a couple of guys that are like
Hey, the true
from
north,
Italy,
strong and
and
free, eh?
have some
Vaffanculo.
wild old school family stories, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you wouldn't think they would be here, but it's almost like it's just a part of the culture.
Yeah.
It's so,
I mean,
so
Canadian
amazing.
culture is the mix of all the least desirable people in the world, I think.
Well, it's not as bad as Australia.
No,
It'd
for
just
sure.
be a prison camp.
But I think that's why,
I love Australians.
Yeah.
Just to get it out there.
yeah, I think that's why we're some of the better nations, honestly. So we were made of
Well,
the
yeah.
worst of the worst and given a second
But-
chance, man.
That's why Australians are such beauties too, man.
Right? Like if you think about it, man, like most of Canada's just like French and Scottish and Irish, and it's like right there, it's like wow, that's a lot of fisticuffs. Just like moved into the same land.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting little dynamic going.
My camera's like stuttering. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Autofocus, and good.
Mhm.
All right, cool.
There you
Well, it's
go.
kind of working. I think it's my Wi-Fi connection. Poor phone. Anyways, okay, we'll keep going through this list. Etienne Saint Pierre, free market capitalist, is what he was called on the wiki. I'm pretty sure that means that he sells drugs.
Free market capitalist? Yeah, that sounds
That
like
sounds like he sells drugs. Yeah. And
yeah, to make the market was
yeah.
all.
Yeah, and the superhero of the situation, the man who got it all done, Sebastian Jutra, truck driver. This guy actually drove this shit. Yeah, so they all got caught, and when they get out of prison, they'll be millionaires. It's wild, eh?
Incredibly wild.
Dude, that's the great
Ton of money.
Canadian maple syrup heist of 2012. Now, obviously, crime doesn't pay, but people around the world, you know that it's the least guarded thing in the world, and it's 26 times as expensive as crude oil, so you might as well hop on the bandwagon and get yourself... Man, if we could make a ton of money. It's a renewable resource, so we need to learn how to like run vehicles off of maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
Yeah, because
fermented maple syrup gasoline.
yeah, because that's the only there's so much maple syrup because of the global strategic reserve that we have a bunch, and that's why it's stored
Barrels.
away. That's why
Barrels.
that's why it's so valuable, right? They do the
We
same
got
thing with
aged.
oil.
We got brands from like 1987.
Yeah, exactly. But we're gonna run out of hydrocarbons, right? So when we run out of hydrocarbons, we better start running the world on maple syrup.
Fast.
Yeah,
I mean, fast.
100%. Otherwise, the ocean's gonna die, and Nikola Tesla, or no, sorry, Elon Musk is gonna have robot taxis doing all the driving. Nikola Tesla.
How would you mind with that if all cars were autonomous? I think I'd probably enjoy that.
Dude, you know how much? No more. I wouldn't have to feel like a piece of shit for having driven drunk that one time. You know, it would be like a thing of the past.
Like, it's the world's fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Like these taxis were around. What else was I supposed to do?
Yeah, I like that. I like it was like a TikTok of the like. I think it's a pretend video. The cop walks up to the dude's fucking car and he's like, "Hey, are you driving drunk?" Me? And he's sitting in the passenger seat of his Tesla. He's like, "Heck no, man, I'm not driving. Ask him." He's like talking to the car. Car's driving. I'm good.
I'm just here.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good thing. I think though that we need like that hyperloop idea. I like that. I think we need subterranean hyper trains. And then I thought this about the ocean too, man. We need a subnautic mega tram.
Why? Why a subnautic megatram?
Okay, so but this is my reason.
Explain to me your reasoning.
Okay, for sure. Like a vast majority of carbon pollution or whatever comes from like all these international shipping ships, right? They got diesel generators are just massive, right? So that's the issue, and that's the thing we're gonna need the longest too. Out of all of the hydrocarbon power things in the world, we need international trade to like maintain human civilization at this level. It's just an absolute must, because half my phone's made in Germany, the other half's made in Korea, and it's all put together in China, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's a huge piece of the modern economy.
You think we need it for mass trade?
Well, it's either that or
better than like cargo ships or
what, the subnautic megatram? Yeah, dude. I'm talking like a megatram. I'm like, I can, in my mind, I can build whatever size ridiculous piece of infrastructure I want, and I build a subnautic megatram. It's basically this gigantic concealed tube in the middle of the ocean with a tram on it for international shipping. And it's just got to travel as fast as a shipping boat, you know, get it going a couple 100 miles an hour, and you'll be good to go. And you port sea cans on that, and then all the waves and hurricanes and stuff that total and like you lose all your international shipping goods off of to waves and stuff, that stops happening because the waves and the hurricanes all surface phenomenon. So if you put it under the water, it's really safe to transport, and then it comes into a subnautic and / subterranean like docking bay where you load it onto the hyperloop and then disperse those things over whichever continent it's going to at a record time.
How do you pay for it?
You can't. It's too expensive. I'm just saying. If I could build whatever I wanted without money being an issue.
If the world was Minecraft, you'd build it.
Exactly. 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Slap some redstone on that bitch and we were good to go. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the most reasonable way to do it. But I don't know. Maybe if Blue Origin mines enough meteors in like the next 40 years, we could I don't know, think about it.
We'll all just get a symbiote like Venom.
Dude, that'd be the way to do it.
Next level.
100%. Except for I want my symbiote to be the Canadian goose. I don't want to be the scariest thing in existence.
You want to be symbiotic with Canadian goose? I'm pretty sure you can't be. I'm pretty sure the goose just takes over if you're at all in correlation.
Yeah. Venom 3.
How are you supposed to fight against that? It'll overpower you, guaranteed.
Dude, man, Carnage would literally just cry.
He would. He 100%. Would have nothing. He's not even close compared to the chaos that the goose can deliver.
100%. Just gets out there, he's
like, he's hissing at you, and you're like, it's not supposed to hiss. Just a long duck. Get the fuck out of here.
You fucking chicken cobra.
You know what I mean? That's terrible.
What about if you could build any ridiculous piece of infrastructure for the world? What would you build?
Probably an underground highway. I think the idea of like a really solid underground, especially in parts of Canada where we don't really deal with earthquakes, fuck all, would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Like it'd be faster, like one of those vacuum tube ones, like the one that Elon actually is funny enough.
Mm-hmm.
We bring it up with like the idea of the Boring Company.
Yep.
Creating a big tunnel system. I think that'd be great for travel.
100%, man.
You could hit high speeds.
Yeah.
Probably more cost efficient or energy efficient at least compared to flight.
I mean, the guy is right about a lot of things. He's literally like a living genius with half the money in the world.
Yeah.
So like it's you can't really compete with.
Honestly, out of all the other billionaires, he's like at least he's the most entertaining.
Yeah, you hear like all that
that
Jeff Bezos trying to be like, yeah, so you guys have seen rockets take off before, you've never seen them land, and then it just shows videos of Tesla or of SpaceX doing it 3 years before that. You're just like, what is this guy doing?
Is he okay? Yeah.
Yep.
He's a little depressed after his wife left.
Yeah.
40 million.
He sounds weird too. Like Nikola Tesla has got like that big D energy, like fattest D in the world energy sound to him. I don't know, with his mild Asperger's, but he's like got real powerful thoughts. Yeah. What did I call him?
Nikolai Tesla.
It's who he is, man. He's a real
I can understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It's the idea.
That's where when Nikola Tesla used to have all his seizures and stuff as a young man, he was like transporting his thoughts into the future into Elon Musk. That's what happened. Yeah.
Get a hair transplant.
Man, his hair got real though.
It did, yeah. When you look at that old photo of him when he
sure.
was just like a guy at PayPal, and then you see him after. And
I was thinking,
there's like the one meme where it's like I used to design websites, and now I used to build websites. Now I build whatever the fuck I want, and it's just him like at a fucking baseball game looking pissed.
Yeah, with his shades and the straight up spike hair.
Yeah,
he looks like I don't know, super jack billionaire Johnny Bravo with black hair.
Looks like Dan Bilzerian light, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, discount Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that Dan Bilzerian guy. I always forget about him.
You want to talk about crazy dudes? You talk about that guy. That guy lives off a crazy legacy.
Yeah, he's just like he just like gambles and bangs models, and that's it.
Pretty
that's
much
his life.
Gambles, bangs supermodels, commits tax fraud. You know, the usual millionaire shit.
Yeah.
But he's pretty good at it. I'll give him that. He's good at making stunts. Throwing up big fucking parties, but like he's gotten into so much trouble with the law, and like I think he fled America for a while.
I mean, wouldn't you? I know a guy.
Yeah, totally.
I met a guy who like became a millionaire really quickly, because of Bitcoin actually, and so he basically YOLO'd a massive chunk of his life savings at Bitcoin a long time ago, and that worked out really well for him. And so he pretty much exclusively trades cryptos now. He used to trade Forex, but anyways, that guy, when I was hanging out with him last, he's like, yeah, so I heard Panama is a good place to keep your money, you know, like good place to live too and stuff. And he's like, and he heard about other places, and so that's what he was doing. He was like looking into places that aren't where he's from to keep his money.
Tax havens.
Yeah, because it's technically tax fraud, but it's also, I don't know, there's ways, right?
Yeah, there's ways.
There's ways, and if you have enough money, you'll find them for sure.
Definitely. We find people that'll find them for you. I mean, I've never been a multi-millionaire, so I can't really say what I would do.
Yeah. No, for sure. If I was a multi-millionaire, what would I do? I would build one of those prisons that you see in movies.
Like just Ultramax prison?
Yeah, like have you seen what was it, the Cube? The one where they're like in a box?
Yeah.
I would build the Rubik's Cube prison for sure. The booby-trapped Rubik's Cube prison.
And just watch it?
Yeah, no, I would monetize it for sure. It'd be a 24-hour live stream on the internet.
It's a little hard to monetize something like that. Because you need to be going for like the Illuminati crowd.
Yeah,
I just want to
for
make
sure,
people
dude.
suffer.
If I chuck in Ghislaine Maxwell, no one's gonna complain. Just her lawyers.
Right contestants.
I'll throw in her and her lawyers, and everyone will be happy. And then I'll put like one cream puff in the center room for them to eat out of, and then they have to fight each other for it.
Every day.
Oh man, that movie! Do you remember? Did you ever watch that movie where like the platform?
The platform, yeah, they called The Platform, like the Spanish movie. Yeah, I watched it like a few weeks ago, actually.
Oh my god! And then they
Really
get down to the bottom, and then it's like a roulette or whatever.
It's like a little kid was there.
Yeah.
when they traveled all the way to the bottom, and then they brought the kid back up because the people from the organization didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah, because at the top they take such care to make sure
Yeah.
that's the best for their prisoners.
Sure.
And then yeah,
I watched,
people
like,
slowly lose
3
their humanity on the way down.
Yeah, I watched like 3 people's breakdowns of that video.
Yeah.
Of that movie. It was a pretty good movie.
I know. I watched it a while back, and I was actually stoned out of my mind. I'm really glad I'm sober now. But like, I watched that, and I was like, damn. And then yeah, and then I like revisited it through Film Comics Explained, I believe, was my main explainer of the video.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, yeah, I did not really catch any of the deep meaning behind the.
Did you not get any of it? Not from the reading of the book?
Man, you gotta remember, I like years ago, I was on autopilot. I like, you know how smooth my brain is now. There was
koala style?
Yeah, it used to have so many wrinkles, nothing could happen in there.
Too many.
It took a long time to smooth those out.
Down a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Still a bit of horse.
No, I was super unaware, man. Like, I had like a woke bro phase. Did I ever tell you about that? And okay, so like, I like don't know how to explain it, but I watched some of the dumbest shit in the world, and I was like, fuck yeah, humans have superpowers. And I came back, and I was just like talking about stuff I didn't know anything about, and then like,
what did you explain to me? What you mean by humans have superpowers?
Well, I mean, just, you know, like all of them, you know, like, I don't know. I don't really want to talk about this.
You gotta talk. You can't just leave it at that.
No, I don't know. I was just like, I think I was also went through like this weird kind of like traumatic time where I lost a lot of people in my life. So anyways, I just like clutched onto whatever I could. And I found this YouTube channel called Spirit Science. And I just kind of like bought into everything and then looked into all the sources, self-confirming sources about alien super weapons left on Earth and
old-fashioned anecdotal evidence.
Yeah, and like psychic stuff and like astral projection things, and like lots of these things that I kind of still believe all those. I just see them in a completely different way now, in a much more rational and cohesive way.
Okay.
But yeah, I used to basically think that the world was turning into. I thought people were being born with superpowers. It's real weird. I smoke way too much weed, man. But yeah, no, 100% autopilot too. Like if you had a conversation with me, I would be like shotgun. We're talking, man, and then like the conversation would roll, but like the amount of short-term memory I would apply to that conversation is about 0. And then like 7 months later, I'd remember it. But no, goldfish memory, man. Like if it happened yesterday, I'd be like, I don't know what I did yesterday. Yeah. But then you asked me what the quadratic formula was, and I was like, x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And that's how we launched nukes in other countries. You know? Yeah, so.
I know some guys like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Got a little far into the wormhole. What happens?
Yeah. I mean, you know. I just that's actually probably the biggest reason I'm on this doing this conspiracy podcast. Video games and conspiracies, because it's the things that are relevant to me, but it's like I know all of them. I've heard them all.
I don't know fuck all about conspiracies.
Really?
I like hearing them. Yeah,
dude,
I mean, like I don't know that I don't know.
You know what?
I've heard of stuff, but I don't really know the like finer details of them. I know of some hilarious ones, like the adrenochrome drinking.
Heck yeah, dude.
Dude,
that's the New World Order shit. They're drinking the adrenochrome from sexually traumatized babies that they sacrificial murder at the Bohemian Grove in robes after doing devil worshipping plays and stuff, man. I know all about that.
Yeah.
But it's okay because they're only doing that so that their energy can feed the reptilian overlords, which are like multi-dimensional creatures which thrive off of that negative energy. Smoothest brain in the West. Yeah, I know that one. Do you know the Titanic conspiracy theory?
No.
Dude, this one is one of those ones I believe. Like,
I didn't even know there was a Titanic conspiracy theory.
Dude, it wasn't the Titanic. It was the Olympic that got sunk.
The Olympic?
I know, it sounds ridiculous, but it was like, I believe it was $1 trillion insurance settlement for the Titanic sinking because it was an unsinkable ship. So they're like, yeah, we'll give you whatever coverage. And this is back then, man. Like, that's a lot of freaking money. So this is how it goes. So you can look up pictures of the Titanic and pictures of the Olympic, and they have slightly different features, but they're basically the same design. But what you see is the Titanic when it was first produced. The oldest photograph is like, look, the Titanic brand new, just made, and it's there, and the portholes don't line up with the Titanic that set sail on the day that the Titanic left with all the passengers, but it does match the portholes from the Olympic, which is a ship made by the same company, who was almost going to be decommissioned. They said the Olympic's probably going to sink sometime soon. They just barely passed an inspection to go back out to sea. And then I believe what happened there was they slapped the Titanic on it in writing and sent that with all the passengers out to sea to go sink. And then that's what they called the Titanic. Whereas the Olympic went on to have an extensive military career because it was almost decommissioned. They were like, oh, we'll sell it to the Navy. And they sell it, and then the Navy celebrated it as a nearly unsinkable ship, just like the Titanic was supposed to be. But the Titanic sunk, and the Olympic wouldn't even die to torpedoes. So, which one? You tell me.
Titanic?
Yeah. That's the gist of that one. And like...
$1 billion sounds like a big settlement for that time.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to make sure that
it doubles with like some of the... Was it JP Morgan? I can't remember. Some oil tycoons, some of their like enemies were on that ship. Some of their competition. People opposing the way that they were doing business, and like fortuitously they sunk and drowned in the middle of the Pacific.
God damn.
There's
just
like
by happenstance.
Yeah. So like my thing with conspiracy is like usually there's so many people that need to be involved for a conspiracy to be real. But I think in the case of like slapping some new letters on a ship overnight, and
See, that's possible, but
if you have $1 million and you pay 8 people, like the main crew, I think you could pay like even a whole deck crew. Say you pay 40 people $10,000 each, and you have that kind of money. I think you could get them to do that stuff without them even knowing, especially when it comes to places with like a chain of command like that. They're probably all like, ex-military.
Don't you think that some of the like wreckage that would have been taken back would have had any type of serial numbers on it that would have been able to confirm whether or not it was the Titanic?
Well, let's go to the Titanic, man. I'm ready. We got to break this story wide open, you and me.
You'd think that some of the wreckage would have something.
I don't know.
Some way to identify it beyond just like looking at the
pictures of the portcullis,
writing on the side,
yeah.
Or the windows.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I just completely egotistically believe I'm correct. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, there's definitely something about that. I mean,
well, it's definitely something that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a really. That's why I like to believe that conspiracies. It sounds really nice. It sounds believable.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
It's much easier than like Earth is flat. That one I struggle with every time.
Yeah, I can never get it.
Yeah, no.
I just couldn't stoop, even if I wanted to, down to that level of like bad. So the amount of videos I've seen too of like
right, because
guys
obviously
going to prove themselves right and they prove themselves wrong. And it's just like,
did we talk about that? That guy who shot himself up on the rocket and exploded. See, like, took a picture. He took a picture from like 1,200 feet with his camera and was like, "Look, see, it's obviously flat. Doesn't no curvature whatsoever." And everyone's like, "Dude, you're 1,200 feet up. You're like." What is that? Is it like 400 meters? It's like barely in the sky.
Yeah, it's fuck off.
So it's a small day hike, like 3 hours to get up there. So anyways, that same guy built like a chair rocket to launch himself high enough in the sky to take a picture to show that there's no curvature to the earth, and he exploded and died.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's flat earthers for you.
I hate to say I told you so.
I know, right? These people are so stupid. The earth is obviously hollow.
He could have lived, but at the same time, like, I don't know if he should have. If that's the way he went.
Yeah. Hey, man.
You know, Darwinism at its best, I guess.
Do you think he went to flat heaven or?
Oh no, definitely went to flat heaven. he didn't.
No, he went to round hell. If he went to hell,
God. Yeah. It's a spherical prison he's just trapped in.
Yeah, that's another one I've heard before too, is actually like the inverted hollow earth theory or whatever, that the universe, we're actually on the edge of the universe, and everything else is inside. And because, and this one goes, this is, I don't want to talk about it too much, but basically people believe it because when the image comes into your eyes, it flips at the back of your retina.
Yeah.
and then your brain corrects it to the right way. And they took that to mean that everything outside of your eyes is actually the other way around. And so they think the world shaped like this around the sun and shit.
Not just like this.
Yeah. Oh.
Be too easy.
So, I mean, that makes sense though, right? Because then the stars you see and stuff is just like New York. Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Stars have only been around since New York was around, pretty sure, right?
Yeah, 100%. What do you? Okay, tell me another good conspiracy. We gotta.
That I know of.
Yeah.
That's like a classic conspiracy or like something weird.
Dude,
I always
whatever you
thought
want.
like monster conspiracies were the coolest, like chupacabras and fucking. I definitely don't believe in Bigfoot. but I
Yeah,
know
those are
other
called
people do.
cryptids. Cryptid stories, man.
Cryptid stories, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a cryptid?
I have not seen a cryptid.
I want to see one. I live where the Ogopogo is supposed to be.
Oh yeah, there's those, and then, what are those like? They're like a native story one, and it's like looks like a fucked up deer. It's like a half dead deer. Wendigos, yes.
Wendigos, yeah.
Wendigos, yeah, those ones.
Yeah.
I always thought those were cool.
Mothman. There's the Mothman.
Mothman,
Never
another
forget the
classic
Mothman.
God, you can't possibly forget Mothman.
That's
I actually have a
actually
book
like
that
yeah, that's like a
ones. That was one of them.
that's like a global phenomenon too. It's kind of similar stories all over the place. The winged,
Yeah.
red-eyed. Yeah.
Dude just soaring on in.
Yeah. I've seen that movie though, the one with what's it, Stephen Greer, I think is his name, the guy with the white hair, the Mothman Prophecy, and they have like a glimpse of that dude. I was looking at that thing, man. I was like, at best, that's like the Fly Man, maybe the Owl Dude. It looks nothing like a moth. Fucking idiots.
No.
But yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
There's no wings, nothing.
Dude, one that I really want to be true, man, is just like Sasquatch. They say they
I
see
think
them all the
everybody
time on
wants
Vancouver
Sasquatch.
Island.
It'd be the coolest thing ever.
Well, yeah. I spent a lot of time in the woods and like hunting growing up too, and like I've heard shit that I'm like, that's not a real thing. That's a fake creature. You know?
See, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Still,
My
this
uncle
day.
says that he's seen a Sasquatch. He said he's seen an albino Sasquatch, white Sasquatch.
An albino Sasquatch.
Yeah, but he lives.
Wasn't just a tall guy. in
Well,
the
he
woods.
lives all alone down at the river, in the middle of nowhere.
Mm.
But he's not prone to lying, which
No.
is where it's weird, you know.
It could just be your mind playing tricks on you.
Yeah, or he could have been drunk. And it just sees
Need
like
a
an
better
albino
one.
black bear, and you see that over there? There's a fucking Sasquatch.
He's walking on his Moses legs.
God. Hey, Rob, go grab my gun. It's just some dude in like a hiking suit. It's all like, it's got like a long sleeve white sweater. Just start popping shots at him. All right, man. Well, maybe we should call the podcast there. Thanks for popping by for the second half.
Not a problem. I'm
Is
glad
there
I
nothing
got
else you
an
want to
extra
talk
break
about?
this time. Yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah.
I think you're a good guest for the podcast. We need to,
I'll make sure to bring some better stories next time, though, for
dude, just
for,
whatever. Yeah, it's,
conspiracy.
dude, I don't care. I'll do all the homework as long as you keep up a good conversational dynamic. Eventually, there'll be like a system to follow.
Mhm.
We don't have to think about it too much. That's like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
The banter engine rolling. That's what we got to do.
yeah, keep making sounds so that human people can hear them, and then
Nod
eventually,
their heads.
yeah. Or I don't know. I just want to, you know, like when I listen to podcasts at work, that's what I want. I want someone to like pop me in and be like, laugh at how retarded I am. That'd be perfect. All right, man.
Enjoy the comedy that is my life.
Let's-
Absolutely.
Let's call her there. I'm SamwellKrom on YouTube, Youngest Millennial on Twitch and Instagram. Give us a 5-star review, or we'll follow you for. Okay, that's not true, but please do that. You got anything you wanna?
I'm Ryan, your real dad, hopping off. Have yourselves an excellent evening.
Peace.